Hey friends, so I think I'm gonna insert this as story time in my 25-cent Dollar Tree haul. Yeah, so this will probably be at the end of that video, so I hope you enjoyed that haul. But right now what I'm actually doing is taking a piece of Dollar Tree thick poster board, and I'm gonna make what I'm hoping is gonna be my thumbnail picture, showing a bunch of the lashes that I had bought for 25 cents. I just thought it'd be a fun way to kind of display all the different lashes that I did get for a quarter. But okay, so Cinnamon had a seizure, y'all. Oh my gosh. I was not home. Okay, so let's start over. Okay, so this morning when she got up and I took her outside, when I opened the door, she kind of like almost stumbled out the door, but I thought it was like her back leg that was bothering her. Anyway, so then she went down the steps and did what she had to do, and then she come back in. So I told my husband, I was like, I think something's wrong with her leg. So I'm just gonna kind of watch her, because I mean, she come in, and when she came back in, her tail was down, and like she went straight back to the room, which if you know Cinnamon, every time she goes out, she thinks she should get a treat, and I'm sure I did that to her, right? So she came in, she didn't want a treat, so you automatically know like she's not feeling her best. So anyway, I sat back down with her, and she laid with me for a while, and she slept, and she seemed to be fine. But again, I was kind of watching her and trying to baby her a little bit, because again, I felt like her leg was bothering her. It's like she was trying to tell me that something was wrong, but of course she couldn't tell me exactly what was wrong. So I kept trying to figure it out. Okay, so anyway, fast forward, day goes on. She seems to be okay. Me and my daughter are getting ready to leave the house. So I told my son, she was laying on my bed, I said, take her down, because I don't want her to try to jump down, especially if her leg's bothering her. So anyway, me and my daughter left, and I guess he did. And then later I found out that he ended up putting her, he said she moved around a couple places, but it's like she couldn't get comfortable. So anyway, he ended up bringing her back and putting her back on the bed, and that's where she wanted to be, and she went to sleep and she was fine. Well, me and my daughter were still out, and then my husband had finished working and he got home. And so now keep in mind, from this point right now, I don't know until he calls me. Okay, so anyway, apparently he got back home, and Cinnamon was walking, I guess like by him or whatever, and she got to the living room, which, so if she's walking by him, that means that she jumped off the bed. And anyway, she's walking by him, she gets to the living room, and he said next thing he knows, like she's up, kind of up against the wall, and she's like seasoned. And of course he didn't want to startle her, like anyway, I guess she was going through what she was going through. And then she managed to get over to her bed that's in the living room. Well, in between then, it makes her lose, control of her bowels and everything. So anyway, so he calls me, and he tells me that, because me and my daughter are about to be on our way home, and he calls me and he's like, we've got to call somebody. Cinnamon's having a seizure. And of course, y'all know I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, because I was worried, because I knew like there was something, like she was off, but I didn't know. I mean, she's never had a seizure before. She's 9.5. She'll be 10 the end of March. So I know my girl's getting older, but still, she's never had anything like this happen. So I immediately get off the phone with him. I call her vet. I tell them what's happening. And of course it's close to like 30 minutes before they're supposed to be closing. And, they basically said that, you know, you can bring her in to have blood work. They suggested I bring her back in tomorrow morning, so that she can have some blood work done, so we can just make sure that like there's nothing immediate going on. Because I asked, you know, well, what would make her have a seizure? And he said it just could be, you know, a multitude of things. It could be, maybe she got overstimulated. Maybe she, you know, I mean, I guess it could just be so many different things, y'all. So, of course, he don't really know. But he said, of course, doing blood work can help us find out if there's like an immediate concern. So I have to wait and bring her back in, take her in the morning. So then I'm like, okay. So I get home, and when I get home, she's laying in her bed in the living room where she had gotten to, you know, in the process of having her seizure or after she had the seizure. And her tail, like, you know, you say Cinnamon and her little tail's wagging, but like she's not moving at all. So I called the doctor back and I'm like, look, she's not moving at all. Like, I really think I need to bring her. Like, you know, I don't know. I've never experienced this, but I don't want my dog to die, you know. And so anyway, it is, I forget what he said it was called, but basically when they have a seizure, there's like at least probably a 30-minute period after where they pretty much don't have a lot of use of, you know, their muscles or to walk or anything. It's just kind of, I guess, which I'm sure her body, her little body went through so much having, you know, having that seizure. So, you know, I'm sure it took a lot out of her. But anyway, so he assured me that, you know, that, you know, I guess this was normal after a dog has a seizure. Because my husband was like, you know, it was like she had a seizure. Was she having a stroke? Like it was, you know, I'm just glad he was here with her, and because it just, you know, I probably would have been a basket case, y'all. But anyway, so at some point the doctor said, well, if it'll make you feel better, if you can come by here, we'll give her some, you know, like let you buy some medicine to take home. That way, in case she does have a seizure, they said a dog can have a seizure. That could be the only seizure she ever has in her life. She could turn around and have a seizure another hour from now. She could have a seizure tomorrow. She could, you know, I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason, especially if they don't know what's going on yet. So I said, okay, yes. So I stayed with Cinnamon, and my hubby went to go pick up the medicine. The vet's not too far from where we live, thankfully. And so you know, we bought some medicine in case she has it. So when my husband got home, I called back and said, so do I give her the medicine now? Because I think it's supposed to kind of relax her, like if they end up having a seizure, to kind of help them calm down and kind of, you know, work through it. And he was like, no, that's if she has a seizure again, that's kind of when you would want to do it. And y'all, Cinnamon hates medicine, okay? Anytime. So, but anyway, yeah, so anyway, we put her medicine in the refrigerator, and, you know, I just kind of rubbed her and loved on her, and, you know, I was all in my feelings, y'all. That's my baby girl. So, but anyway, so then, she got, you know, it's almost like she kind of come out of it in the sense of now she was getting the use of her muscles back. You know, first her little head would pop up in her ears and she's listening to what's going on. And then eventually she did get up and she goes to sit by the door to let you know she needs to go outside. So she went outside and came back in, and so you can still tell she's not like 100%. Like you can tell that she knows something happened, and that she's, you know, kind of off, but she's laid over there on the floor now on her little smaller Dollar Tree bed, y'all. She goes from her huge big old bed she has to the little one that she's about the size of. So she's in that one sleeping right now. So I'm so glad that she is okay. Again, it just scares me because I don't know, what caused it. And yeah, if you know, if you have fur babies, they are part of your family and you love them. And yeah, she is, I'm her person, and she's my fur baby. So but yeah, but I know a lot of you love her, and I really appreciate all of you for that. So I thought you'd want to know kind of what's going on with her. So hopefully she will, get to feeling better. So I am going to take her in the morning so that they can draw some blood and do some blood work. So I'm just, praying that it's nothing major, maybe it was just some, I don't know, some fluke, something that, I don't know. I'm just hoping it's nothing serious. I'm hoping she doesn't have, any more episodes. But yeah, so let me know below if you've ever had an animal that had a seizure. But yeah, so just trying to be there to comfort her and love on her and tell her everything's going to be okay. And hopefully that, do what we can to take the best care of her that we can. And yeah, so right now she's snoozing, which is good, because again, I can only imagine the way my husband was describing how her whole body was just, for you just to lose control over your body like that, I know is really tough. So I know it had to probably really wore her out. So I'm hoping maybe with a good night's sleep that she'll feel a lot better in the morning. But again, I'll be taking her to the vet. So of course I'll keep you guys posted along the way. But yeah, so I just wanted to have this little cinnamon chat with y'all and let you know what's going on with her. I hope you guys are doing well, friends. And again, if you have not subscribed, make sure that you do, friends. And again, I will keep you updated. Until then, friends, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. There she is, y'all, sleeping in that little Dollar Tree bed. Now she's got this big old fluffy bed over here that she loves, and she sleeps over there. Beds on beds, blankets. And then she'll go back and forth on this little Dollar Tree bed. Hey, Cinnamon. You say hey to the friends? You say hey? So y'all, I've had a rough day. Yeah, see, I've had a rough day.